Ji-hoon walked into the xenobiology classroom with his heart beating fast. The Galactic Unity Academy was huge, floating in space like a giant silver ring. Students from hundreds of worlds filled the seats. Some had tentacles, some had glowing skin, and some looked like walking crystals. They all stared at him because he was human, one of the new species everyone called soft and weak. The room was bright, with floating holographic screens. Desks were curved and lit from below. The air smelled clean, like metal and faint ozone. Ji-hoon found a seat near the front. He kept his head down and opened his tablet. He hoped no one would notice him too much. The professor floated to the center on a small anti-grav platform. He was tall and thin, with 4 arms and skin like dark blue leather. His name was Professor Vexar, and he spoke in a calm, clicking voice. "Welcome, class," Professor Vexar said. "Today we continue our study of Deathworld adaptations. Many species come from safe, gentle planets. But some worlds are cruel. They test life hard. Survivors become strong in ways we cannot imagine." The aliens nodded or made soft sounds of agreement. A few glanced at Ji-hoon and whispered. One student, a tall reptilian with sharp teeth, laughed quietly. "Like the humans, they break if you look at them wrong." Ji-hoon felt his face get warm. He pretended to check his notes. Professor Vexar raised one hand. "We have a special guest today, a transfer student from a true death world. Please welcome Ji-hoon." The door slid open. A girl walked in. She was human, like Ji-hoon, but different. She was not tall, but she moved like she owned the room. Her black hair was tied back tight. She wore the standard academy uniform, gray jumpsuit with blue lines, but hers looked stretched over strong muscles. Her boots made heavy steps, like she was used to much higher gravity. She did not smile. The class went quiet. Even the reptilians stopped laughing. Ji-hoon stopped in the middle. She looked around once, then nodded to the professor. "Ji-hoon comes from New Sol Prime," Professor Vexar explained. "It is a Category 9 death world. Gravity is 2.8 times standard. Storms carry acid. Animals there hunt in packs and grow bigger than shuttles. Nights reach boiling heat from geothermal vents. Days freeze in polar winds. Humans there survive by changing their bodies over generations. Stronger bones, denser muscles, better healing. Ji-hoon is one of them." A crystal student made a tinkling sound of surprise. "Another human? But this one looks different." Ji-hoon crossed her arms. "Earth humans are from a nice planet. We call them city stock. Soft. No real tests." Her voice was flat, like she stated simple facts. Ji-hoon felt eyes turn to him again. He swallowed hard. Professor Vexar smiled with his many teeth. "To show the difference, we will do a small demonstration. A basic stress test in the simulation chamber. It changes temperature and pressure quickly. Who wants to volunteer?" No one moved at first. Then Ji-hoon raised her hand slowly, like it was no big deal. "Good," the professor said. "And one more, to compare baseline mammalian response. The other human?" All eyes went to Ji-hoon. He felt frozen. He did not want to look weak in front of everyone. Slowly, he raised his hand too. Professor Vexar clapped 2 hands together. "Perfect." Ji-hoon and Ji-hoon stepped forward. Ji-hoon stood up on shaky legs. He walked to the front. Ji-hoon was already there, calm. Up close, he saw small scars on her hands and a faint mark on her cheek, like something big had scratched her once. The professor pointed to a round door at the side of the room. "The chamber is ready. No protective gear, just your bodies. Temperature, from -80 to +65 degrees Celsius. Then, pressure increase. Simple, safe, educational." The aliens leaned forward. Some pulled out recording devices. Ji-hoon looked at Ji-hoon. She met his eyes. For a second, something flashed in her look. Not anger, but curiosity. "You sure about this, city boy?" she asked quietly. Ji-hoon nodded, even though his stomach twisted. "I have to try." Ji-hoon gave a small shrug. "Okay, don't die." She took off her outer jacket and hung it on a hook. Underneath, her arms showed clear muscle lines. She rolled her shoulders like she was warming up for a normal day. Ji-hoon kept his jacket on. He felt cold already. The door opened with a hiss. Inside was a round metal room with clear walls so the class could watch. 2 spots marked the floor. Ji-hoon and Ji-hoon stepped in. The door closed. The class lights dimmed a little so everyone could see better inside the chamber. Professor Vexar started the test. Beginning now. First came the cold. Air turned icy fast. Frost formed on the walls. Ji-hoon's breath came out in white clouds. His fingers hurt. He hugged himself and tried to breathe slow. His teeth started chattering. Ji-hoon stood straight. She did not shake. She just breathed normally, like the cold was nothing. She even stretched her arms up and cracked her neck. The aliens made surprised noises. How is she not freezing? Temperature climbed next. Heat hit like opening an oven. Sweat poured down Ji-hoon's face. His shirt stuck to his skin. His head felt light. He blinked hard to stay focused. Ji-hoon yawned. "This is like summer at home. We ran 10 kilometers in worse heat for breakfast." Some aliens laughed nervously. Then pressure came. It felt like heavy hands pushing on Ji-hoon's chest. Breathing got hard. His knees bent a little. He put a hand on the wall to steady himself. Ji-hoon looked over. She stepped closer without a word. She put one hand on his shoulder. Not hard, just firm. "Breathe deep, from here." She tapped his stomach. "Not your chest, diaphragm, like this." Ji-hoon tried. It helped a bit. The pressure eased in his lungs. The timer ended. The chamber hissed and cooled. The door opened. Ji-hoon stumbled out first. His legs felt weak. He leaned on a desk and took big breaths. His face was red, hair wet with sweat. Ji-hoon walked out last. She looked fresh. No sweat. No shake. She picked up her jacket and put it back on. The class was silent for a moment. Then whispers started. They both lived, but she didn't even try. The Earth one almost fell. Professor Vexar floated closer. "Very good. This shows the range in human adaptation. Earth humans handle mild stress. Deathworld humans handle extremes like daily life." Ji-hoon looked at Ji-hoon. He was still catching his breath. She gave a small nod. Not bad for first time. Ji-hoon managed a weak smile. "Thanks for the tip." She shrugged again. "We don't let our own fall, even soft ones." The bell sounded. Class ended. Students got up to leave, still talking about the 2 humans. Ji-hoon sat back down slowly. His body ached, but something felt different. He looked at Ji-hoon as she walked out. She did not look back. He did not know it yet, but that small moment in the chamber was the start of something big. The galaxy was about to learn what humans could really do, when one confronted another from a world that tried to kill them every day. Ji-hoon sat at his desk in the dorm room, still feeling the ache in his muscles from the chamber test. His shirt was dry now, but he could remember the sweat and the heavy push of the pressure. He kept replaying Ji-hoon's hand on his shoulder. It was not soft. It was strong, steady, like she could hold up a wall if she wanted. He felt small next to her, even though they were both human. The next day, the academy buzzed with talk. In the hallways, students pointed when Ji-hoon walked by. "That's the Earth human who almost fell in the test." But the Deathworld one didn't even sweat. Some laughed. Others looked worried, like they had seen something dangerous. In the cafeteria at lunch, Ji-hoon picked a quiet table in the corner. He had a tray of standard nutrient paste, tasteless but filling. He was halfway through when a shadow fell over him. He looked up. 3 tall reptilian students stood there. Their scales were dark green, and their eyes were yellow slits. The leader was bigger than the others, with sharp spines along his back. His name was Kraz, from a warrior planet called Vorak. Kraz leaned forward, claws tapping the table. "You, the soft human. We saw you in class yesterday, shaking like a baby in the cold. Your kind is weak. Everyone knows it." Ji-hoon kept his eyes on his tray. "I finished the test. That's all that matters." The other two laughed, a hissing sound. Kraz's tail flicked. "Finished? You needed help from your own female. She held you up like a child. Humans are pack animals, yes? Weak alone. Strong only when hiding behind each other." Ji-hoon felt heat rise in his face. He wanted to say something smart, but the words stuck. He was not a fighter. Back on Earth, he studied books and avoided trouble. Kraz straightened up. His voice got louder so others could hear. "Prove us wrong. Right now. Spar with one of your own. Show the Academy that humans are not jokes. Or admit your species is soft prey." The cafeteria went quiet. Heads turned. Students from other tables watched. Some recorded with small floating cameras. Ji-hoon opened his mouth, but no sound came out. He looked around. Everyone was staring. Then a voice cut through the silence. Calm. Flat. "He doesn't have to prove anything to you." Ji-hoon walked up from the food line. She carried a tray piled high with protein bars and a large bowl of something thick and red. She set it down next to Ji-hoon's table and stood beside him. She did not look angry. She just looked bored. Kraz turned to her. His spines rose a little. "You, the Deathworld one, you think you're better?" Ji-hoon took a bite of her bar. She chewed slowly. "I don't think, I know. But if you want to show, fine. I'll spar with him." She nodded at Ji-hoon. Ji-hoon blinked. "Wait, what?" Ji-hoon ignored him and looked at Kraz. "Rules. No weapons, no claws out, no biting. Academy training mats. 1 hour from now. If I win, you and your friends stop talking trash about humans for the whole semester. If you win, which you won't, you can say whatever you want." Kraz laughed again, but it sounded forced. "You fight your own weak one? That's not fair." "It's fair," Ji-hoon said. "He's human, I'm human. We start at the same place. Gravity, air, food, same biology. If he loses, it's because he didn't train, not because humans are weak." The reptilians looked at each other. Kraz's tail stopped moving. He grinned with all his teeth. "Deal. Training hall, 1 hour. The whole academy will watch." He and his friends walked away. The cafeteria exploded into talk. Phones buzzed. Messages flew across the academy network. Ji-hoon stared at Ji-hoon. "Why did you do that? I can't fight you. I don't know how." Ji-hoon sat down across from him. She pushed half her tray toward him. "Eat. You'll need energy. I'm not going to hurt you bad." Ji-hoon pushed the food back. "This is crazy. They're going to laugh at me." "Maybe," she said. "Or maybe not. You stood up in the chamber yesterday. You didn't quit. That's more than most do on my planet by age 10. You'll be fine." Ji-hoon looked down. "I'm not like you." "No one is like me," Ji-hoon said. "But you're still human. That's enough for now." 1 hour later, the training hall was packed. Students filled the seats around the big blue mats. Holographic screens showed the fight to every dorm and classroom. Professor Vexar stood at the side, with a referee drone floating near him. He looked curious, not worried. Ji-hoon walked in wearing gym clothes, loose pants and a shirt. His hands shook a little. Ji-hoon was already there. She wore the same reinforced fatigues, sleeves rolled up. She bounced lightly on her toes, like this was normal. Kraz and his friends sat in the front row, arms crossed, smirking. The referee drone spoke in a clear voice. "Rules, no lethal force. Tap out, or referee stops the match. Begin on signal." Ji-hoon stood on one side of the mat, Ji-hoon on the other. She gave him a small nod. Just try. Don't think too much. Ji-hoon raised his fists the way he had seen in old Earth videos. His stance was wide and stiff. The drone beeped. Fight. Ji-hoon moved first. He stepped forward and threw a punch at her shoulder. It was slow, unsure. Ji-hoon slid to the side like water. She did not even raise her hands. His fist missed by a lot. He tried again. A kick to her leg. She stepped back. Easy. Then she moved in. Fast. Too fast. She tapped his chest with an open palm. Not hard, but enough to push him back 2 steps. The crowd made sounds. Some laughed. Ji-hoon gritted his teeth. He charged again. This time he aimed low, trying to grab her waist. Ji-hoon turned her body, caught his arm, and twisted just enough to spin him around. He landed on his back with a soft thud. More laughter. Ji-hoon stepped back. Get up. Breathe. Shift your weight forward. You're standing like gravity is your friend. On my world, gravity tries to kill you. Fight it. Ji-hoon pushed himself up. His face burned, but he listened. He bent his knees more, leaned forward a little. He tried again. This time he faked a punch high, then kicked low. Ji-hoon blocked the kick with her shin. It hurt her less than it hurt him, but she nodded. Better. She came forward now. She threw a slow punch, slow enough for him to see. He blocked it with his forearm. The hit stung, but he held. Good, she said. Again. They moved around the mat. Ji-hoon attacked soft, like training. She let him block some. She let him land one weak hit on her arm. Each time she said something. Keep your chin down. Step with your hips. Don't lock your knees. The crowd stopped laughing. They watched closer. Kraz's smirk faded. Ji-hoon suddenly changed speed. She grabbed Ji-hoon's wrist, pulled him close, and flipped him over her hip. He landed flat again, air knocked out of him. She knelt beside him. Tap if you need to. Ji-hoon shook his head. He got up slower this time. Sweat dripped from his hair. Ji-hoon smiled, just a little. You're stubborn. I like that. She looked at Kraz. You still want to watch, or should we end this? Kraz stood up. His friends looked nervous. Enough. We forfeit. No more talk. The crowd murmured. Some cheered. Most just stared. The drone announced, match ends in draw by forfeit. Ji-hoon stood there, breathing hard. Ji-hoon walked over and put a hand on his shoulder. Same as in the chamber. You did good, city boy. I lost. You stood, she said. That's winning enough for today. They walked off the mat together. The aliens parted for them. No one laughed now. Ji-hoon felt something new inside him. Not strength yet, but a spark. Like maybe, just maybe he could be more than soft. And Ji-hoon? She walked like nothing happened. But her eyes flicked to him once, and there was something warm in them. Pride, maybe. Ji-hoon woke up the next morning with bruises on his arms and a sore back. The training hall fight replayed in his head like a bad dream. He had not won, but he had not run away either. That felt like something. He looked at himself in the small mirror above his sink. His eyes looked tired, but there was a new spark in them. He touched the spot on his chest where Ji-hoon had tapped him during the spar. It still hurt a little. The academy felt different now. In the hallways, students did not laugh at him anymore. They stared with wide eyes or moved out of his way. Some even nodded hello. The word had spread fast. The Deathworld girl had fought the Earth boy, and the warrior reptilians had backed down. Humans were no longer just soft jokes. Ji-hoon went to class early. He sat in his usual spot near the front. The room filled up slowly. Professor Vexar floated in and started the lesson on adaptive physiology. He talked about how species from harsh worlds grew extra layers of skin or stronger hearts. Everyone listened, but their eyes kept going to the empty seat where Ji-hoon usually sat. She had not come yet. Halfway through the lecture, the door opened. Ji-yoon walked in. She carried a small bag over her shoulder. Her hair was loose today, falling around her face. She looked calm, like always. She took her seat 2 rows behind Ji-hoon, without a word. Professor Vexar paused. Ji-yoon, nice of you to join us. We were just discussing survival traits. Your planet has many examples. Ji-yoon nodded once. Ask away. The professor pointed to a hologram of New Sol Prime. It showed red storms, giant shadows moving in the dark, and mountains that looked like broken teeth. Tell us about the apex predators there. How do humans hunt them? Ji-yoon leaned back in her chair. We don't always hunt them. Sometimes they hunt us. The big ones, called thunder beasts, stand 8 meters tall. Thick hide, 6 legs, teeth like knives. They charge at anything that moves. We learn to use traps, poison darts, and teamwork. One person baits, others strike from the sides. Never alone. A small aquatic student raised a fin. But you are small. How do you win? Ji-yoon smiled. Just a tiny curve of her lips. We don't win by being big. We win by being smart and stubborn. And we never leave someone behind. If one falls, the pack drags them out, even if it costs lives. The class went quiet. Ji-hoon felt something tight in his chest. He thought about yesterday. She had not left him on the mat. She had talked him through every move. After class, Ji-hoon waited in the hallway. When Ji-hoon came out, he stepped in front of her. Can we talk? She looked at him for a second, then nodded. Sure. Observatory deck. It's quiet there. The observatory was a big glass dome at the top of the academy ring. Stars filled the view in every direction. No one else was there. Just soft blue lights and the hum of the station. Ji-hoon stood by the rail. Why did you do it? The fight. You could have said no, or picked one of them instead of me. Ji-hoon leaned on the rail next to him. She looked out at the stars. Because they were wrong. Humans aren't weak. Not all of us. But if I fought one of them and won, they would just say, she's special, not normal human. If I fought you, and you stood your ground, even a little, it shows everyone the truth. We're the same species, different worlds, different training, but same blood. Ji-hoon looked down at his hands. I felt weak. You weren't, she said. You got up every time. You listened. You blocked once. On my planet, that makes you worth keeping alive. He turned to her. Tell me more about New Sol Prime. The real stuff. Ji-hoon took a slow breath. It's hard. Gravity pulls you down every second. You feel it in your bones. Storms come without warning. Acid rain that eats metal if you stay out too long. The animals don't just eat to live. They play with their food sometimes. We grow up learning to run, fight, hide, and fix things fast. Kids start survival drills at 5. By 10, you go out with a group to bring back meat or plants. If you make a mistake, you might not come back. Ji-hoon swallowed. And your family? Most didn't make it to adulthood. My parents did. They taught me everything. My dad said the galaxy is soft. It will try to kill you slow, with comfort, with rules, with pity. Don't let it. Stay sharp. Ji-hoon thought about Earth. Green fields, safe cities, food delivered to doors. No one hunted him for sport. I feel like I don't belong here sometimes. Like I'm not enough. Ji-hoon looked at him straight. You belong. You're here. You didn't quit in the chamber. You didn't run from the fight. That's more than enough for now. They stood quiet for a while. Stars moved slow outside the glass. Ji-hoon spoke again, softer. Back home, we have a saying. Deathworlders don't make friends easy. But when we do, it's for life. I didn't plan to like you, city boy, but you're stubborn. And you care. That's rare. Ji-hoon felt his face get warm. I don't want to be a burden. You're not, she said. You're pack now, whether you like it or not. He laughed a little, the first real laugh in days. Pack. I like that. Ji-yoon pushed off the rail. Come on, training hall, 1 hour, no crowd this time, just us. I'll teach you how to stand right, how to breathe under pressure, basics. Ji-hoon hesitated. Now? Now, she said, or you'll stay soft forever. They left the observatory together. In the training hall, the mats were empty. Ji-hoon showed him how to shift weight, how to keep balance in high-gravity feel, even though the academy was normal gravity. She moved slow so he could copy. When he fell, she pulled him up. No anger, just patience. Hours passed. Sweat ran down Ji-hoon's face. His arms burned, but he kept going. Each time he blocked better. Each time he stood faster. Ji-hoon stopped finally. Enough for today. You're getting it. Ji-hoon wiped his face with his sleeve. Thanks, for everything. She shrugged. Don't thank me yet. This is just the start. The galaxy still thinks humans are weak. We have to show them different. Ji-hoon nodded. Together? Ji-hoon gave a real smile this time. Small, but real. Together. They walked out side by side. The stars kept shining outside. The academy lights glowed soft. Somewhere in the distance, alien students whispered about the two humans who did not break. Ji-hoon felt taller, but because he was not alone anymore. And Ji-hoon walked with a lighter step. She had found something she did not expect, a brother from a softer world who refused to stay soft. The confrontation that started in class was not over. It was just beginning to grow. Ji-hoon could not sleep that night. His body hurt from the training, but his mind raced faster than any pain. He kept thinking about what Ji-hoon said in the observatory. Pack. Stubborn. Worth keeping alive. Words like that stuck to him like glue. He had never felt like he belonged anywhere except his quiet room back on Earth. Now in this huge station full of strange creatures, one person saw him as more than just another soft human. The next morning he found Ji-hoon in a small gym near the lower decks. It was not the main training hall. This one was old, with scratched mats and dim lights. Almost no one used it. She was there alone, doing push-ups with one hand behind her back. Her breathing was even, like the exercise was nothing. Ji-hoon stood in the doorway. Hey. She finished her set and stood up. Sweat shone on her arms, but she did not look tired. Morning, city boy. You look like you didn't sleep. I keep thinking about what you said. About New Soul Prime. About Pack. Ji-hoon grabbed a towel and wiped her face. Come in. Close the door. He stepped inside. The door slid shut with a soft click. They were alone. Ji-hoon sat on the edge of a mat and patted the spot next to her. Ji-hoon sat. For a moment, neither spoke. The only sound was the low hum of the station vents. Finally, Ji-hoon asked the question that burned in him. Why did you go easy on me in the spar? You could have ended it in 10 seconds. Why help me instead of just winning fast? Ji-hoon looked at the floor. She twisted the towel in her hands. At first, I thought you were weak, like all Earth humans. Soft food, soft gravity, soft life. I figured you'd fall quick and prove what everyone says. But you didn't fall easy. You got up. Every time. Even when your legs shook. Even when it hurt. That reminded me of home. She paused. On New Soul Prime, we have a rule. If someone fights back, even if they're losing, you don't crush them. You teach them. Because tomorrow the Thunder Beast might come, and you need everyone strong. Not just the strongest. Everyone. Ji-hoon listened hard. So you saw me as, what? Worth teaching? More than that, she said quietly. I saw you as one of us. Not Deathworld strong yet, but human strong. The kind that doesn't quit. The kind that matters when things go bad. Ji-hoon felt something warm spread in his chest. I don't feel strong. You will, Ji-hoon said. It comes slow, like bones getting denser. One day you wake up and realize you don't break as easy. He looked at her scars again, the small white lines on her hands, the faint mark on her cheek. "Tell me about that one," he said, pointing to the cheek scar. "The big one." Ji-hoon touched it without thinking. "Thunder Beast Claw. I was 14. My group was hunting. We needed meat for winter stores. The beast came out of nowhere, charged me. I dodged most of it, but one claw caught me here." She traced the mark. "I fell, blood everywhere. My friends could have run, most would, but they didn't. They dragged me out while the others distracted it. One of them died doing it. My best friend since we were kids." Her voice stayed steady, but her eyes looked far away. "That's when I learned, pack isn't just friends. It's family you choose every day. You bleed for them, you live for them. You don't leave them behind." Ji-hoon swallowed. "I'm sorry." "Don't be," she said. "It made me who I am, and it made me notice when someone else has that same fire inside, even if it's buried under soft earth life." Ji-hoon looked at his own hands. No scars, smooth skin. "I want to be like that, not soft anymore." Ji-hoon stood up. "Then train harder. I'll teach you. But first, understand this. Deathworld humans aren't magic. Gravity tried to crush us, so our bones got thicker. Cold tried to freeze us, so our blood flows better. Pain tried to stop us, so we learned to push through. Earth humans can do the same. It just takes time. And someone to show the way." She offered her hand. "Come on, let's start now." Ji-hoon took her hand. She pulled him up easy. They moved to the center of the mat. For the next hours, she taught him things no book could. How to breathe when pressure crushed your chest, like in the chamber. How to stand so your center stayed low and strong. How to turn pain into focus instead of fear. She did not yell. She did not push too hard. But she did not let him quit either. When he fell, she said, "Again." When he blocked right, she said, "Good." Simple words, but they meant more than any praise he ever heard. By the end, Ji-hoon sat on the mat, breathing heavy. Ji-yeon sat next to him, legs crossed. "You know," she said, "the galaxy is scared of us now. Not just me, you too. They see two humans, one from a death world, one from paradise, and they see we don't break different. We just break slower or faster, depending on where we grew up." Ji-hoon wiped sweat from his eyes. "What happens next?" Ji-yeon looked up at the ceiling. Rumors were already flying. The Deathworld girl protected the Earth boy. They fought as one against the Vorak. Elders are talking. They might change our classification, from weak newcomers to observe with caution. Maybe even do not provoke. Ji-hoon laughed softly. "That's good, right?" "It's a start," she said. "But we have to keep showing them, not with words, with actions. Like yesterday, like today." Ji-hoon nodded. "I won't let you down." "You won't," Ji-yeon said, "because you're pack now, and pack doesn't let pack down." The gym lights flickered once, then steadied. Ji-hoon stood first. "Rest today. Tomorrow we do real gravity training. There's a sim room that can crank it up to 2G. It'll hurt, but you'll live." Ji-hoon smiled, looking forward to it. She punched his shoulder lightly, the same spot she tapped in the spar. "Good. See you at dawn." She walked to the door. Before she left, she turned back. "One more thing. If anyone ever tries to hurt you again, anyone in this station, you call me. I don't care who they are. Pack first." Ji-hoon stood up. "Same goes for you." Ji-hoon gave a real grin this time, sharp and warm at the same time. "Deal." The door closed behind her. Ji-hoon stayed in the gym a little longer. He looked at his reflection in the polished wall. Bruises, sweat, tired eyes, but also something new. A straight back, a steady gaze. He was still the city boy from Earth, but he was starting to feel like something more. Outside, the academy kept turning. Classes went on. Aliens whispered in corners. Rumors grew bigger. The two humans, one scarred by a death world, one just starting to wake up, had changed things. Not with weapons or power, with simple things. loyalty, stubbornness, a hand on the shoulder when the pressure came. And somewhere deep in the station's quiet halls, the galaxy began to understand. Humans were not all the same, but when they stood together, they were something the stars had never seen before. Something dangerous, something unbreakable. Ji-hoon stood in the main corridor the next morning, waiting for Ji-hoon. The station lights were bright, and students hurried past on their way to classes. He felt different now. His shoulders sat straighter. His steps felt firmer. The bruises from training had faded to yellow marks, but the changes inside him stayed. Ji-hoon appeared at the end of the hall. She wore her usual reinforced jumpsuit, hair tied back. She gave him a quick nod. "Ready for today?" "Ready," Ji-hoon said. He meant it. They walked to the advanced sim room together. This room could change gravity, air, temperature, anything. Few students used it because it hurt too much. Ji-hoon had booked it for 2 hours. Inside, the room looked plain. Gray walls, empty floor. A control panel glowed on one side. Ji-hoon set the gravity to 1.8 G first. Not full Deathworld level, but enough to feel heavy. Ji-hoon's legs pressed down. Walking felt slow, like moving through thick water. Ji-hoon said, "Walk laps. 10 times around the room. Keep your back straight. Breathe deep." Ji-hoon started. Each step pulled at his muscles. Sweat came fast. His heart beat hard. Ji-hoon walked beside him, easy like the gravity was normal. "Feel it in your legs," she said. "That's your body learning. Bones get stronger. Muscles grow thicker. It hurts now. Later it feels good." Ji-hoon nodded. He did not talk. He just kept moving. After 10 laps, she raised it to 2.2 G. Ji-hoon's knees bent. He almost fell. Ji-hoon caught his arm. "Up. Chin up. You can do this." He pushed himself straight. They walked again, slower this time. Each breath felt heavy, but he did not stop. By the end of the 2 hours, gravity was back to normal. Ji-hoon sat on the floor, breathing hard. Ji-hoon handed him a water bottle. "You lasted longer than most Earth humans would." Ji-hoon drank. "Thanks to you." She sat next to him. "Thanks to you. You didn't quit." That afternoon, everything changed. An alarm sounded across the academy. Red lights flashed. A voice came over the speakers. "Hull breach in Sector 7. Simulation failure. Oxygen levels dropping. All students report to safe zones. Repeat, this is not a drill. Hull breach is real." Panic hit fast. Students screamed. Some ran in circles. Others froze. The academy had safety systems, but something had gone wrong. A training sin had broken a real wall. Air hissed out. Lights flickered. Ji-hoon and Ji-eun were in the corridor near Sector 7. They looked at each other. "Move," Ji-hoon said. They ran toward the breach instead of away. Most students ran the other direction. Ji-hoon felt fear, but it was small compared to the need to help. They reached the damaged area. A big metal panel had cracked open. Air rushed out in a white cloud. Sparks flew from broken wires. 3 alien students lay on the floor. 2 reptilians and 1 crystal being. They looked hurt. One reptilian held his side, where blood leaked through scales. Ji-hoon moved first. She grabbed emergency patches from a wall kit. "Ji-hoon, seal the crack. Use the foam gun. I'll get them out." Ji-hoon took the gun. His hands shook, but he aimed at the hole. White foam sprayed out and hardened fast. The air hiss slowed. Not stopped, but slower. Ji-hoon lifted the first reptilian. He was heavy, but she carried him like he weighed nothing. She set him against a safe wall. Then the second. Then the crystal one, who was lighter, but fragile. More students arrived, some teachers, some brave ones, but they stood back, scared. Ji-hoon kept spraying foam. His arms burned. The hole was big. Foam ran out. He looked around. A metal sheet lay nearby, part of a broken desk. He dragged it over and pushed it against the crack. He held it with his body. She saw what he did. Without a word, she helped him hold it. Together they pressed hard. The air stopped rushing out. The alarm quieted a little. Emergency teams arrived minutes later. They sealed the hole properly. Oxygen returned. The hurt students were taken to the medbay. Ji-hoon and Ji-yoon stepped back. They were covered in dust and foam. Ji-hoon's shirt was torn. Ji-yoon had a cut on her arm from a sharp edge. Neither cared. Professor Vexar floated up. His forearms shook a little. You too. You ran toward the danger. Why? Ji-yoon wiped blood from her arm. Because someone had to. Ji-hoon looked at her. We don't leave our own behind. The professor stared. You are not the same as other humans. Ji-hoon shrugged. We are, just tested different. Word spread fast. The whole academy talked about it. The two humans saved 3 lives. They held the breach with their bodies. No fear, just action. That night, the Elder Council met. They were old beings from ancient species. They watched recordings of the chamber test, the spar, the training, the breach. They talked in low voices. One elder, a tall glowing figure, spoke. Humans were classified as low threat, fragile, new. We must change that. Another nodded. Not prey, not weak, adaptive, loyal, dangerous when together. The new classification came the next day. A message appeared on every screen. Human species, Category 4. Monitor closely. Do not provoke. High adaptability confirmed. Pack behavior noted. Survival instinct, extreme. Ji-hoon read it in the cafeteria. He sat with Ji-yoon. She ate slowly. Category 4, he said. That's high. Ji-yoon nodded. Means they respect us now. Or fear us. Same thing sometimes. Ji-hoon looked around. Aliens glanced at them, but no one mocked. Some even smiled. Ji-yoon pushed her tray toward him. Eat. You need it after yesterday. He took a bite. I feel different. You are, she said. You ran into danger. You held a wall with your body. That's not city boy anymore. Ji-hoon smiled. Still your pack though. Always, she said. Days passed. Ji-hoon kept training him. Harder now. Higher gravity. Faster moves. He improved. Not as strong as her yet, but stronger every day. One evening they stood in the observatory again. Stars filled the glass dome. Ji-hoon spoke quietly. Thanks for the confrontation. Back in class. If you hadn't pushed me, I would still be hiding. Ji-hoon looked at him. Thanks for listening. For not breaking. For becoming pack. She punched his shoulder. Light, like always. He punched back. Soft, but real. They laughed. Outside, the galaxy turned. Ships flew. Stars burned. And 2 humans, one from a death world that tried to kill her every day, one from a safe world that never tested him, stood side by side. They had confronted each other first, then the galaxy. And the galaxy blinked. No one would call humans weak again. Not after they saw what happened when one human stared down a Deathworld girl in class and chose to stand with her instead of run.